Welcome to another tutorial video. In this video, we'll be talking about the URL parameters. This function is coming very handy if you wanted to identify a respondent or specific audience. It's very simple and very easy to use. We need to start with creating the first parameter, which is the unique identifier in the original URL of the survey. For instance, let's do an example when you wanted to track the responses to given customer. So I can do the parameter name as customer ID. If I create it, now I can see a new unique link. In this link, there is this customer ID parameter I created and a placeholder. You can change dynamically the placeholder to track back the responses to given person. The example would be like if you're using MailChimp, Mailgun, or you're using any CRM which have contact attributes. You can create a templated email where the link to the survey is placed and dynamically replace the placeholder with the attribute from your system. So that means that every time this templated email is sent, the link has a unique ID in it. You can combine multiple parameters as well. So, for example, for existing customer ID, I want to add the order ID. Many customers reordering and you wanted to check their feedback per each order. So, as you can see, here is additional parameter we created, again with the placeholder. So, you can again input it to your mailing system and dynamically change both parameter values. That's one of the examples when you just take the link and dynamically change the placeholders. This is very handy in case you have lots and lots of customers and you're not sending like 2 or 3 unique IDs. Second use case which I wanted to show you is that, for instance, you own multiple shops in multiple locations and you wanted to compare the feedback of the customers or clients per the branch. I can do like this. Let's call the parameter city. So, because I know that I have a shop in London, in Prague, and in Berlin, I create directly a parameter with city values in variables section. If I create it in this way, I already have 3 unique links, which I can take and again reshare it any way I want. I can potentially export the QR code for each of the link. That means that I can put it to our bills or to any materials. And if I'm in the London visiting the shop and scan the QR code there and respond to the survey, then you will see that I responded from the London location and vice versa. It is also possible, as we can see, to secure the link. The securing the link means that it's hashing the original link, so there is no visibility of the secondary identifiers entered to the URL. Another example, if you'd be doing an internal survey and you want to split the data per department or per the role, and you don't want to specifically ask about in survey, you can create department, team, role, or any sort of parameter and variables. Then the identifiers are created and you can share the unique links as you need to. It is also important to say that you can filter the results based on these URL parameters, and it is very simple. In the analytics, you can simply create the filter by clicking on the button of Create a Filter and use the URL parameters option. Based on the URL parameters and variables you created, you can filter out the results. Potentially, you can visit the individual responses where you see visually the customer ID and order ID in this example. So you can revisit and connect the responses to given person, given order, or given team. Basically, you can filter based on any parameter and variables you added to the link and shared. There is one use case which I wanted to mention as well, and this use case is for customer support. Example is that you have multiple agents which are in communication with the customers. And after each session, you are sending a satisfaction survey and you wanted to measure the satisfaction of the customers per individual agents. So you can, for example, do the URL parameter called agent. So if I create an agent parameter, I can now replace or add the variables of the agent names or agent IDs and embed it to the system of collecting the feedback. And based on the data, you can filter out the feedback of each agent, create benchmarking, team reviews, and vice versa. Of course, there is more and more use cases of how to use these URL parameters. That's pretty much for this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.